Okay, so today we will talk about discovery, about how to save money with discovery, how to save time with discovery. And I think we will start from the introduction, just to give a little bit of background about ourselves. My name is Ludmila, and I'm co-founder of ZenBit company and responsible for everything that's connected to delivery. And here is Lisa. Lisa, few words about yourself.
Thank you, Ludmila. My name is Lisa. I'm a business analyst and working in ZenBit Tech maybe about 2 years.
Okay, so what today we want to talk about is resistance that we found when customer came for us and asked to make some product. And when we suggest discovery, we see this like customer refuse. They don't understand why it's needed and why he needs to spend time, money for explain his idea or for us gathering all the information about the idea. And we decided that we can use some examples and talk about a little bit about our process to give this understanding, to show why it's needed for you as a customer, actually why it's important. And I think we will start with the basic stuff. So for now, I think it will be great to give a little bit words about what is discovery for us. So Liz, maybe this is where you can help me with.
Sure. So if we can say in simple words, discovery is a set of different actions. It's like an initial stage of project. When we should define some objectives, we can gather requirements, and all these actions give us understanding of the project, and we can mitigate some risk during discovery phase. So the benefit of the discovery, it's like we can save cost by defining requirements early, and also this is a good start from project for businesses which try to build some product from scratch.
Okay, good point. And I found that it's sometimes customer came with already made design. Do you think in this case discovery is still needed, or design usually is enough to understand what is defined?
No, design is not enough because we have some case. Recently, some client came to us with already made design, but he didn't have any understanding which features should be included to MVP version, and also in general which features should be implemented. And he also this design didn't meet like final goals of the project. And we have with him several meetings, and during this meeting we conducted from our side competitor analysis and discuss each interesting features of competitors. And based on this competitor analysis, we define features for MVP for next version. And when client agree with this, we have prepared the wireframes for him. And based on wireframes, we made review together with designer and make some changes in design, so to align the design with the project goals.
So you mentioned wireframe, but if customer came already with a design, does wireframe need it, or how it usually work?
It depends on each case, because in the case I described, it was needed because we need to make new design for this project.
Okay.
So we should prepare first the wireframes for designer. But in other case, we can just make a review together with designer, and design can adapt current design based on our recommendations.
So from my understanding, discovery phase will really depend on what documents, and what information customer will have from the beginning. Okay. So in this case, how you divide discovery into the phases? So what usually the setup? Maybe, can be.
Yeah.
Maybe start
Yeah,
with
so
general and then go deeper.
Okay, yeah, so generally discovery phase includes several steps. I think generally discovery phase have four stages, and first stage, this is the discovery kickoff. And during this stage, we have 1 or 2 meetings with client, and during these meetings, we discuss communication plan and communication tools. Also, we set some schedules of our meetings, and also we discuss general goals of the project. We discuss some objectives, and so all things which is needed for us to start the discovery process. So this is about first stage.
Yeah, I always thought that it's a little bit boring to ask about like the goal of the project when you already have some info. But in other case, I actually not a long time ago had situation when on the pre-sale, one company came and give big list of feature, and when I check them, I understand that I don't understand the goal. So okay, we put all the features together, a lot of them, but they are not matching what value they will give to user. So yeah, after that, like I one more time understand that it's very important to see this goal, to understand it, to see the audience, because maybe because of audience, you also will have a different strategy of continue. Okay. So when you gather this like general, like I don't set up calls, set up I don't know, goals, what's going next?
So next next stage, this is analysis, and it can so the duration of the stage maybe can take several days or a week or more than week. It also depends on project. The project, yes, and the size of project. And during this phase, we discuss business processes, which client have, or we also can prepare models for these processes is if client, for example, is also new in this business. And so we work together closely with business different business situations. So, and we should also define during this phase which approach we should use for implementing some features. And actually, from my experience, I can say that maybe for startups during this phase, we also discuss some user journeys or user flows. We define some steps. So we prepared some flow charts for each business process, and this this give us understanding of each small step during a process. And also client is like subject matter expert on this stage, and client can also highlight some specific needs which maybe it's not clear from our understanding. So based on like result of this stage, this is the understanding of process, of steps which this process included. So with this information we can move and we can proceed and go deeper into each for example, user flow, and discuss smaller requirements.
Okay, and as in most time, a customer who came to us wants something actually custom. For ready solutions, they can go to take a ready solution, and it's not always we have competitors. And of course, we have customer as an expert. But what do you do in the situation when you understand that there are no similar project in the market? Does any specific, I don't know, step or things that you are doing? Did you have such cases?
Yeah, actually, we have such case, and this was interesting case because their request from client was to combine meditation and gamification, and we try to prepare a competitor analysis, but found that it's not possible maybe to do it directly, and we decided we should divide product, or we should divide like all information into some pieces, and we find some features, and based on features, we have made the competitor analysis. So we take one feature, for example, I don't know, maybe learning lessons, something like this, and to make competitor analysis and to find the best practices in this field. And so it allows us to find like best approach for this product.
Okay. So generally, there are no difference. It just you need to search in more fields. Am I understand right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I also want to add that I have experience because Elisa mostly work with online discovery, and I also had experience with offline discovery. And sometimes it makes sense because you work more close together and you maybe can draw something or brainstorming with more time. But in other case, I found that we don't have this time for thinking. When we gather some requirements, we need to time for think. How does it align? Do we see any gaps? And when it's all like just like very tight 3 days, it's not enough. And we had case when we need like we get information, but after a few days we see then there are some gaps. So approximately for us, this take like from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, yeah, to make discovery, or like approximately, because I know some it's dependent a lot of actually parameters.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a good point. What is I know that I'm a little bit interrupted from the topic about the phases, but what phase takes the longest time? So, or why some discovery take 1 week and some discovery take, I don't know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks?
Yeah, I can say that maybe 2 stages take some time. For example, if you divide it into 4 stages, the first stage is this is a like kickoff. Second, this is a analysis, then formalization, and then closure of discovery. So formalization and analysis take some time. It can be iterative process. So we discuss and define steps for some business process. Then we go deeper and discuss each small details. We prepare wireframes or prepare design. And we each time we discuss each small piece. For example, our designer have prepared several pages, for example, 10 pages, and we schedule meeting with client and go through each page, discuss all functionality, also buttons, logic of some events, and so on. So we discuss each small details, and each time client provides some feedback or ask some question, and we work with this feedback, and it can take actually several weeks because we try to make the best the best match between client needs and also the concept of product.
So am I here right that feedback is taking a lot longest time? Like availability to check and give feedback. Okay, I'm sorry, I interrupt. So we have 2 phases which we discuss, and what is the third phase? Formalization.
Formalization. It's the most boring phase in discovery because on this phase we discuss detailed requirements of each feature. So, for example, we have chat, and we discuss logic of creating new chats, of delaying or activating, or and some another functionality for blocking users and so on. So, and we go feature by feature, discuss all these details, and based on this, we prepare documentation. So it's from our side, it's specification or requirement specification, also functional requirement specification. So can have different names, but the goal of this to highlight all requirements, which allow us as development team to prepare a fixed price estimation for this project. Because it's our purpose to find all gaps, to define all small pieces of the product, to ensure they're matching between suggested price at the beginning of the project and final price, which can be prepared after discovery.
Yeah, I remember you said don't forget to say that it's fixed price. Yeah. So everything that we are doing is because we try to give clear picture about what are deadlines and what are price for deliver what was discussed. Okay, and what usually is the risk in this phase? So does it just like everything from previous phase we put to the documents, or does any like extra process that could happen? I don't know. Again, feedback.
Yeah.
It came.
Yeah. Again, it's dependent on project, but generally it can be some risk can be due to time, because sometimes client didn't allow us to take some time to think or to review or to make research, because actually good important point that we made discovery for fixed hours, and it means that we should divide these hours for each task of discovery. And sometimes we understand that we don't have enough time to prepare some research or to make some investigation for client, and this also can be some blocker or can be some risk for us. And yes, it's very important to make all needed investigation during discovery, because so the cost of discovery is many times less than actually cost of development. Yeah, so this is the most important risk, actually.
Did you have cases when customer, when review like the documents, because if I understand right, they should review it, give you some like feedback of features that you missed or you didn't discuss? Or usually on this phase is everything clear?
No, actually, as I said, client is many times client is a subject matter expert for us during discovery, because he have experience in this domain or in this business many years or some time. And when we sent to this doc for review, we expect that client read it carefully and provide some maybe questions, maybe maybe can highlight some gaps. And yes, we have such case several maybe year ago. We have some client from healthcare domain, and so the the point was that we made a discovery, and we think that we cover all specific needs, because we make the discovery so long, maybe more than months, based on client availability. But the point was that we miss some point when doctor it was actually regarding booking appointment. So some doctor can't came to appointment, and for this case some hospitals have like backup doctors, for example, and we didn't know about this. And when client make some review, they highlight this point, and yes, it was actually a big gap in the logic. And after review, we discuss it again and create some small feature which can allow us to reassign appointment for backup for another doctor.
Interesting. Okay. Actually, you remind me, during last year, I think you made a lot of appointments, at least in development. So do you reuse usually the acceptance criteria from like one project to other if they're similar? Or I talking about appointments because it's, as I said, quite often. So if, for example, in appointments case, did you reuse it, or each project have difference, and in this case it's not always valid to reuse?
Actually, it will be great if I can reuse, but it was only once when we have very similar projects, and the idea was not very unique. The client just need to start business which already work, but each new project means each new requirements. Maybe we try to use our experience during discovery, because this is like main goal. So we know some edge cases from previous project, actually due to the fact that we working with healthcare closely, we can apply this experience to new project. And yeah, in this case it helps, but just to copy paste some documentation, no, it doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think very similar in development. Sometimes you think, okay, we can reuse it from development, but when you cut everything that's not needed and add everything that needed, it's much more easy to write it from the scratch. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have the last phase that you like highlight is close phase. And what is the difference between maybe formalization and close phase? Just formally it's close, or any extra work should be done?
Yeah, we have some work. We prepared on this phase. We prepared vision scope document, and also we make updates to all in us documentation, because it's very important from the requirements perspective to have final version of requirement, because during discovery we made a lot of changes in design, in wireframes, in user flow, and so my task is to gather all versions and to make complete finalized documentation which can be used for development team as tasks. And also, if a client decide not to continue working with us, or maybe just stop development, he can take the documentation and use with another team or for another purposes, for example. So on this stage, we finalize all documentation. Also, we receive approval from client, so we send to final version of all documents and receive from clients approve that all is okay, and so he agree with all made work.
Okay, and you mentioned that some customer give feedback, like you're doing something, customer give feedback. Does it only on this also on this final phase, or usually on the final phase? No further clarification needed.
No, I said I described this regarding analysis and formalization stages. On the closure stages, it's just several actions or activities from our side. From business analyst, it's preparing and finalizing documentation. Also, we made presentation for clients, so we invite a team, also our CTO, and make the presentation for client and describe to him or to her what work was done and what functionality was approved. And then we send all this package of documentation to the client.
Okay.
And estimation, sorry, I forget about estimation, because based on this, based on only on closure stage, we can prepare an estimation based on discussed and agreed requirements.
But we do an estimation after close discovery, because only when we sign the discovery clause, customer are fully sure about what he want. So usually it's phase after. Okay, so a little bit additional. Okay, so we talk about discovery phases, but our main goal was more to show about how discovery phase optimize something, and something's time and money, and speed up to deploy, to be in production. And with this also connected topic about optimization, because very often when customer came and go in the discovery, he want this and this and this and everything in one time. And it's quite, I find that sometimes it's even difficult to optimize and then add features. Sometimes add features much more easier than to cut. How you, maybe some example, or just what is your logic about how to define what should be left in first version and what is important and what should be cut?
Yeah, actually, balance is maybe one of the purposes of discovery phase, and it's a very often case. Yeah, we have such case. Maybe it also was related to healthcare domain. Some client came to us with a really great idea, but many features which he which he suggested to have in MVP was not related to this domain, and we. Firstly, we made also competitor analysis and prepare some some points for clients why we should remove this feature from MVP. And when we have this like a competitor or compare analysis of some comparisons of features, we give to client understanding about that is really not very important for his MVP version. So we, just to summarize, we prepare this separation for MVP and first version based on first point, based on purpose of the project. Second, this is based on competitor analysis and actually based on specific needs of end users for this project.
Mm-hmm. So how it is like in percentage that this feature is influenced 10%, this feature like 50%, or it just highlight in like plain text?
No, it's just maybe like a table of different features, or it can be also like board with some example, because we like an artist on discovery phase. Yeah, we should. It's a more creative work than some routine. Maybe that's why we use different tools to make it like for visualization. But usually it's a table with features or maybe table with some examples.
Okay.
Board.
Okay. Good to know. Okay, what next I wanted to discuss? Okay, so next I have been thought about how to show how discovery saves the budget, time, and also nervous. Like the idea was to make a compare table, which will show actually what is the benefits of with discovery and without discovery. Here some tables. I don't know if somebody will listen us. I will just explain it one by one. I wanted to put here some numbers just to make more realistic, but I found that numbers can't be shown. So for now we just have 2x, 3x. And the comparison was made with a similar project in the beginning of the COVID. We have a lot of job board projects. Really, I don't know, 4 or 5 projects, and of some of them that was like rush, or it was time and material when we ongoingly created some features, and some when we can prepare actually the requirements and then start work. So in one hand, of course, when we start work right away, it looks like it's quicker because you already see result in, I don't know, 1-2 weeks instead of just discussing this 1-2 weeks. But if we are looking for final timeline, with discovery, timeline is 2 times quicker. So with discovery, 2 times quicker. Like for example, if project with discovery is 1 month, without discovery it will be 2 months. For budget, actually, it's even more critical because it's like in our case, it was 3x more. And the main reason was that make any changes in the code is much more harder than make any changes in the text. So for example, if the budget of the project with discovery is 10K, without discovery for us it was around 30K. Also changes in during implementation. Of course, even after discovery, even if you like the customer sees the prototype and look like everything clear, when you start see real application, sometimes some changes appear, or you want to change some, or you see some idea during this time, like anything happened, and it's very often when change request came. But again, when you think ahead and make discovery, you have 3 times less change requests than that without discovery. It means that again, it's time, and its changes in the code is always, as I said, more difficult that do the changes before code already set up. And communication. Communication is really disaster without discovery. Because during discovery, only like in our case, it's BA and customer. Like sometimes I connected, sometimes somebody from tech team connected, but it's like in most of cases it's two people. So it's quite time saving. If you're talking during the development, the information during the team should be like transfer quite quickly because it's like people depend on each other. And have a call with 6 people, it means that like all these 6 people have a salary and we like everything is budgeting. So like 2 people, 6 people, and also again, it's longer time for synchronizing because more people you have, it's not only about amount of people for 1 hour. It's in most cases 1 hour will be not enough, so you will spend 2 hours, 3 hours instead of 2 people for 1 hour. That's because 2 people negotiate with each other much more quicker than 6 people. It's just example about 6 people, but the case is when you spend more time during the discovery, maybe even more than you thought, but finally, like everything described and developers already can think a little bit ahead and also think about architecture, how we will set up. Less calls, less changes, quicker delivery finally. So this is what we get actually based on our statistic. Again, not strict number, but some basic understanding, I think quite good. Maybe it was even main point of all this conversation is to have this comparison.
Actually, just I want to note a small thing. So quality of discovery have a direct effect on the quality of developed product.
Oh, yes, especially we found it in the communication. So when we miss some points and we need to negotiate, as I already mentioned, first time we need to understand where it's influent, how it's already should be integrated to the code, and also think about how make it with less efforts. Yeah, so better to double check, not do it in the rush. I mean, discovery.
Yeah.
It's always good, right? Like good results mean like satisfied client. It's mean good project which could be shown to investor or to the market, and yeah, quite big a chance to go ahead to second, third, and so on iterations. Because actually the goal is not first iteration. Goal is to have a long life cycle project.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, Luda, I remember one point, one case when we find another solution or another approach during discovery phase, and I think it will be good to note for some startups. So during discovery, we find that we shouldn't develop from the scratch this product. We can just have integration with several another tools, and this integration can cover big part of functionality. So it also can be defined only on discovery phase because this like approach wasn't considered by client, and also we didn't think in this way. But when we checked functionality, when we discuss the business needs, we understand that it doesn't make sense to spend several hundreds of dollars, sorry, hundreds, thousands, yes, thousands of dollars, but we can save cost and have integration, and in the same time to cover some needs for end users.
Yeah, actually good point, especially in the last time we all the time looking what is exist, because already stuff exist, but not all of them save time. So we try to during discovery find this maybe balance or services or anything that will help speed up process or give better value to customers to find final client. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I think yeah, it's time for like some conclusion.
Yeah.
Okay, so first what I can select is that as we already have some expertise, like especially in healthcare and actually in development itself, we can put this background to suggest some better approach, and discovery can guarantee some final like result, which I mean again, time, budget, and quality of final project. Please, what else we can add?
Yeah, I can fully agree, because this like proven method of preparing discovery, which we tested many times during last years. This following this some maybe some steps of following this method, it allow us to guarantee some results for client, and to guarantee some success after discovery. I mean, success in preparation of product concept.
Yeah, and actually develop the product itself also, because our goal is finally to get a product and that customer just take it, like marketing strategy and sales strategy, and go with this product. Yeah, okay, agree. Other items that maybe I want to highlight is, again, is maybe based on the first one. So because of this process, like rush is bad, usually give worse results than no rush, just because in this case, you can think about the risk and edge cases. So in our practice, any rush, especially at the end, will give less time for us to see the risk, and again, it influences to the stability of development finally. And other one is cost for discovery, because I before talk about cost of development, but it's also cost of discovery. So cost of the discovery is much less than cost of development. As I said, any changes in development is 3 times longer than during discovery.
Yeah.
And and also actually the budget for discovery is less. So validate the idea on the paper very often make much more sense. Maybe you will change something, or maybe you will refuse the idea, or maybe you will find it like more attractive that you've seen it before.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah,
and it's better to. I think it's also better to start discovery phase as early as possible, because maybe if you're talking about startups, maybe with beginning of business, and when you only consider the idea of find some ideas, because during this process you can find another approaches for a business also. And actually it's working for existing business too, because during discovery you will have time to adapt your business processes to product, and maybe some change or find some bottlenecks and so on. So the discovery phase can highlight some actually gaps in physical business too. So also we have also this I think these cases.
Yeah, good point. I don't have what to add. I don't know, maybe I missed something. If no, that I think we are good. Yeah. Okay, then thank you everybody who have been watching it, and yeah, have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.